Hey, it's your boomer consumer, and recently I posted a video called My Take on Calling Out the Reviewers. I thought long and hard about that video prior to posting. Now, without going into a lot of detail, the crux of it was my rebuttal about the video Danny Ritchie from GR Research and his take on mostly the newer reviewers who do not have the necessary experience, equipment, or environment to review audio product. It was only after he invited some rather well-established audiophiles to come to Texas with an offer to have some fun and learn how to listen that I felt, well, it was a bit too much. In my response video, I mentioned that most consumers don't have properly treated environments and most don't purchase high-end gear. People buy what they can afford. I do agree with Danny that for quality reviews of, say, speakers, you do need an acoustically treated room and equipment of good quality and specifications. But this should not be a barrier to entry to those starting out in the hobby. Indeed, the learning, well, it never stops. Now, as a practice, I try to steer clear of YouTube drama for a variety of reasons. It's just not in my DNA. But I thought if it was important to state my case so that younger people coming into this hobby would not become discouraged from creating content based on their experience with audio gear. Now, I know there would be some who would not agree with me, and, well, I expected that. However, some of the comments were, well, let's just say a bit insulting. For one, I was accused of looking at the world through cheap gear, entry-level stuff. And others referred to the gear I currently own as mid-fi. Mid-fi is actually considered a derogatory term for budget-friendly gear. Now, I looked high and low for a proper definition of mid-fi. And the best I can find is when the type of equipment that is used for casual or background listening and used more for accommodating lifestyle rather than musical fidelity. But in the context of some of these comments, it was used more as a way to describe the mass market affordable gear, such as my Yamaha AS501 amp. Somehow it is not worthy of being called HIFI. I can assure you it most certainly is. Accordingly, my Fluence RT85 turntable is not worthy of being called HIFI as well. Again, I disagree. And yet, even the gear I use is out of a lot of people's budget. How much one pays for gear doesn't necessarily make them part of the audiophile community. In my mind, the pure fun of pursuing musical enjoyment and getting the most out of the systems we have, and yes, learning as much about audio gear and acoustics, etc., well, then a person is well on their way to becoming an audiophile. There's no formal school, degree, or price tag that grants one the title audiophile. It's time to encourage young people into our beloved hobby. Let's do all we can so that the hobby can remain healthy and grow. Besides, how do you gain experience without doing it? Well, that's it. Thanks for listening to this small rant. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you in the next video.